No mother should ever have to give birth on the side of the road due to a hospital sending her home. This story is absolutely unreal, and honestly, it's scary it even happened. So this lady pictured here is 38-year-old Mercedes Wells, and she said she knew it wasn't right when she went to a hospital to give birth, and they didn't even send her to labor and delivery. Instead, listen to this. Mercedes spent 6 long hours, 6 hours at that hospital until her contractions were only 1 minute apart. The name of the hospital is reportedly Franciscan Health, which is in Crown Point, Indiana. You know what the nurse allegedly told her to do, even though her contractions were a minute apart and she was in horrible pain? To go home. And then guess what? 8 minutes after she was forced to leave that hospital, Mercedes gave birth in her car on the side of the road. So this reportedly happened on Sunday, November 16th. The beautiful baby girl's name is Elena, and thank goodness the precious angel is doing well. However, her mother Mercedes said that she is still deeply disturbed and upset that she had to give birth on the side of the road. I mean, who wouldn't be? This was early Sunday morning after she was forced to leave the hospital, as I said. She should have never been told to leave anyway with contractions a minute apart. Reportedly, Mercedes is an experienced mother as she has 3 other children, and Elena made her 4th. She had done this 3 other times. She knew what she felt with her body and her baby. She said she was in so much pain and she knew that the baby was coming soon, but that no one would listen to her, and instead she was told to leave the hospital. Mercedes reportedly told news outlets that she was in excruciating pain, and the nurse saw that. She said she was in agony, but somehow that nurse perceived her not to be in labor. She said the nurse told her, well, if you aren't further along in centimeters, then you know we got to send you home. But still, her contractions were a minute or less apart. And they were real contractions, not Braxton Hicks. Now, according to reports, Mercedes actually lives in Chicago, Illinois, and she was visiting Indiana during that time for 2 weeks before her due date, when she felt like it was time to have the baby before she was actually due. She said her husband chose the closest hospital to them, which happened to be that Franciscan Health. When the hospital made her leave, it was said her husband Leon was in the process of finding the next closest hospital in Munster, and that's when the baby started coming. Mercedes said she was terrified and didn't know what to do since she didn't have a medical license or anything. Nor did she have any supplies or anything, obviously, in order to give birth right there in her car on the side of the freaking road. But thank goodness everything worked out and this beautiful baby girl arrived safely. Mercedes and Leon now have an attorney, and they are saying that this is not the way it was supposed to happen. Her attorney reportedly said that we can agree that a woman in active labor should not be sent away without even seeing a doctor, and I totally agree. She and her husband reportedly said at this point they have not considered legal action, but that they do want a meeting with hospital administrators to help ensure this never happens again to another family or another mother giving birth. They also said they want that nurse fired and a change of protocol to make sure that any woman who is in labor gets to see a doctor before especially being sent home. And that's honestly how it should have been anyway. This is terrible. I can't imagine giving birth on the side of the road in my car. Bless her heart. Honestly, there's a lawsuit on their hands if you ask me, but it sounds like they're not worried about that, and instead they're more worried about raising awareness and ensuring that it doesn't happen to anyone else. And honestly, that says a lot about them, about Mercedes and her husband. I'm so thankful the baby and mom are okay and healthy. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments, and for more content, be sure to follow and subscribe over on YouTube.